According to the person who shared the footage, the driver didn't spot the massive figure at first because his attention was focused on the burn pile rather than his surroundings. It was only later, while reviewing the dashcam recording, that he noticed it, a towering, dark, hair-covered figure standing upright behind a shed blending into the nearby trees. To make it easier for viewers to notice, the uploader slowed the clip down. The creature, clearly taller than the shed, is believed to be at least 8 feet high, as the shed itself stands close to 6 feet. On closer inspection, the fur looks pitch black across most of the body, gradually fading to a lighter brown around the stomach. One of the most striking elements of the video is how the figure stays completely motionless, as if trying to blend in and avoid detection. While that strategy worked in real time, the dash cam still captured its shape. The camera's low frame rate keeps the image from being perfectly clear, but the footage remains intriguing to many. The precise location was never revealed, though many suspect it was filmed somewhere deep in rural Canada. That leaves one big question: is this an authentic Bigfoot sighting, or just another well-executed hoax? Share your opinions below. The Voyager Overland YouTube channel centers on the thrill of Jeep adventures, tackling off-road trails, camping under the stars, and exploring remote wilderness areas. Their videos often showcase scenic routes, striking landscapes, and the campsites they discover along the journey. Earlier this summer, the creator embarked on a family trip with his wife, grandfather, and grandchildren to the Ruby Falls Mountains in Alberta.
When I asked them where they wanted to go, they both said the same thing. They said, Ruby Falls! So I guess that's where we're heading.
When asked where they wanted to go, everyone chose the same destination, Ruby Falls, so that's where they headed. Upon arrival, they found a nice spot, parked the Jeep, set up a small campsite, and spent time enjoying the waterfall before heading to another area to camp again. At the new location, the creator placed a trail camera near their setup, hoping to capture footage of local wildlife. Instead, the device recorded something far more disturbing. The footage shows a humanoid figure moving through the campsite in the middle of the night. The figure appears to walk normally, pausing now and then as if scanning the area. What makes the clip particularly unusual is that the figure sometimes looks partially transparent, possibly due to motion blur, limited infrared light, or both. A researcher familiar with using trail cameras for Bigfoot investigations said they had never seen anything like it before. To examine the footage more closely, filters were applied to brighten the figure, and the image was enlarged by 150%. Even then, it remained strange and hard to explain. Encounters like this are extremely rare, serving as a reminder that the unexpected can happen to anyone who ventures into the wild. A homeowner started hearing strange sounds outside and later noticed unusual footprints scattered around the property.
All right, we're now in the southwestern corner of the property. Allegedly, this is where the guy said he had the most activity. That remains to be seen. A little spooky, I guess. It's mostly just quiet. Apparently they're building a subdivision over that way. Huh. Oh. What the hell was that? Oh. Something walking. Oh, shh. Okay, all right. Okay.
Worried, they contacted someone to examine the area more carefully. The search brought them to the southwestern edge of the land where previous activity had been reported. Initially, everything appeared calm, almost too quiet, with nothing out of place aside from signs of nearby construction for a new housing development. Then suddenly, something moved in the distance. Emerging from between the trees was a towering figure. It was tall and broad, its body covered in dark fur, and its glowing red eyes fixed directly on the observer. The sight was shocking, nothing like what one would expect to encounter on private property. The lingering question remains whether this video was staged purely for online attention or if the camera truly captured a mysterious presence roaming the land. On September 2nd, 2023, Finn Brenton and a companion decided to camp in Freetown State Forest, Massachusetts, a place notorious for dark legends and whispers of occult rituals. Since camping was not allowed, they discreetly set up their tent without drawing attention. As night fell, unsettling noises began echoing through the woods. The disturbing sounds crept closer, and fear kept them trapped inside the tent, unable to sleep. By morning, they hoped daylight would bring comfort, but the strange noises continued, becoming even more bizarre.
What is making that sound?
It sounds like a part. Okay, it got a little bit creepier because now we have this on top, so you really cannot see out of the tent. Bro, why does it sound like someone is crying? I'm out. I don't know what to do because I'm not doing that.
The atmosphere shifted from unsettling to downright terrifying. The forest seemed alive with cries and unexplainable sounds that left them frozen in fear. Panic quickly overtook curiosity. In a hurry, they tore down their camp, abandoning the site and vowing never to return. What truly haunted the forest that night is still a mystery, but the experience left them shaken and convinced the woods conceal something beyond explanation. While hiking near Duffield, Virginia, a Reddit user stumbled upon a peculiar footprint embedded in a rock. Although they didn't place any object next to it for scale, they estimated its length to be between 12 and 14 inches. The print itself was strangely shaped, unusually large, and clearly defined against the stone surface. Even more puzzling was the absence of any other tracks, just that single massive impression carved into the rock. In March, a woman living near Red Gut Bay, Ontario, spotted something strange moving through the woods behind her property. The area is isolated, so anything unusual immediately stands out. She quickly pulled out her phone and started filming. When the footage was later examined by the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team, they stabilized it and made the figure clearer, a tall, dark silhouette with one arm appearing unusually long. Residents familiar with previous reports of similar sightings were quick to speculate that the mysterious figure might be Bigfoot. Wanting to stay out of the spotlight, the woman decided to remain anonymous. A video shared on Facebook is claimed to show a potential Bigfoot encounter during a camping trip in Alaska's boreal forest. In the footage, the person filming stays low and hidden while capturing a large, dark figure moving in the distance. The figure is visible only for a few seconds before vanishing back into the trees, leaving behind more questions than answers. This clip was captured by a trail camera in Washington State on December 25, 2009. It shows a large, dark figure appearing to kneel near a campsite. Food and snacks had been placed nearby in hopes of drawing Sasquatch in. The creature's stance is unusual. Its head is low with no visible neck, and its body looks massive with a wide back. Unlike a bear, this figure seems to possess a human-like back and shoulders. One especially strange detail: a noticeable groove runs down its back, dividing the two sides of its muscles, something you wouldn't expect to see on a bear. So who or what was sitting next to that picnic table? While collecting firewood, a man suddenly heard heavy footsteps nearby. Startled, he quickly hid behind a tree, staying completely still to see what might appear. Moments later, he managed to film something on camera.
Серега, что это? Серега, да ну, Серега. Серега, ну.
a massive figure moving just a short distance away. Its movements were human-like, yet its size was far beyond what could reasonably be considered human. The witness later described the event as the most terrifying experience of his life, convinced that whatever he encountered was anything but ordinary. This eerie video was recorded by Igor, a man residing deep in the remote Siberian wilderness of Russia. His cabin, surrounded entirely by dense forest, was accustomed to the usual nighttime sounds, but recently he had begun hearing something far different, strange guttural growls echoing from the nearby trees. While Igor was familiar with the typical calls of wildlife, these noises were unlike anything he had encountered before. On this particular night, they returned louder and more persistent than ever. Determined to find their source, he grabbed his night vision camera and stepped into the darkness. What he captured would unnerve even the bravest viewer. Beyond the tree line, a shadowy figure appeared, watching from the cover of night. At one moment, it seemed to crouch low in the grass, its gaze fixed on him, as though it could see clearly without light. When the figure moved closer, Igor retreated back to the safety of his home. To this day, the incident remains unexplained, leaving behind only questions and speculation about what might have been lurking in the forest outside his door. A hiker ventured deep into the woods, recording his journey on camera, a video later shared on a channel called Bigfoot King. From the start, his uneasiness was obvious, as if he sensed something lurking among the trees.
Where are you? Straight up front. Straight up front. Right? Straight up front.
At one point, he spotted what looked like a regular tree trunk. But when it shifted and a branch snapped, the truth hit him. His hands trembled as fear took hold. And though he tried to steady the camera for a clearer shot, the figure was already disappearing into the dense brush. Its sheer size and presence left little doubt about what he had witnessed. Overcome by fear, the hiker decided it was safest to abandon the forest altogether. A series of massive footprints. They didn't resemble any animal tracks he'd ever encountered. The sheer scale of them made him freeze in place, wondering what could have created such impressions. One print was especially distinct. It was enormous, almost human-like, yet far too large. A man in Washington recently posted a blurry photo he claims shows Bigfoot lurking outside his secluded cabin. In the picture, a dark figure appears to be peering through a window at night, silently observing from the shadows. The image quickly sparked debate online, though most people remain doubtful. In a time when almost everyone carries a high-quality camera, one question keeps coming up. Why are these photos still so unclear? In May 2025, a man reviewing footage from a trail camera he had placed deep in the forest came across something unsettling. Roughly 25 meters away, partly obscured by the trees, a tall, dark silhouette stood perfectly still. It appeared much larger and broader than any animal he recognized, and its movements were unlike anything he'd seen before. Could this be authentic evidence of Bigfoot, or just a moment that seemed a little too conveniently captured to be true. On May 26, 2025, a man shared a photo on X claiming his tour guide had shown it to him. In the picture, one person is walking toward the camera while another sets off a flash, and that flash seems to have unintentionally revealed something unsettling. Behind them, a pair of glowing eyes and a large humanoid silhouette appear to be staring directly into the lens. So what's your take, just pareidolia? And a camera glitch? Or possible proof of Bigfoot? A hiker noticed a shape moving in a strange, almost unnatural manner. At first he believed it was a person, but the figure's unusual size and way of walking made him question that. Someone zoomed in for a closer view, but the image remained grainy and unclear. There's no confirmed detail about who recorded the video or where it took place, yet something about the scene felt unsettling. In a separate post, another person shared a photo online claiming they had encountered Bigfoot while camping. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but its movement didn't resemble a bear's behavior. Because the subject was too far away to see clearly, they took a photo to analyze later. When they zoomed in, the figure appeared more ape-like, which was strange since apes don't live wild in that area. What exactly was captured stayed uncertain, but many viewers immediately suspected it was Bigfoot. On a secluded trail in the mountains of Southern California, a group of hikers stumbled upon something they could hardly believe. Crouched just beyond the brush was a towering figure, massive, broad, and far larger than any human. Its sheer size alone made the sight seem unreal. Intrigued, a YouTuber known as Thinker Thunker analyzed the photograph. He began by checking the lighting and shadows, and everything aligned perfectly with the surrounding scene. Then he ran a color DNA test boosting saturation to detect signs of digital alteration. In edited images, manipulated areas typically stand out during that process, but here nothing appeared abnormal. The colors and textures blended flawlessly with the natural backdrop. His conclusion was straightforward: whatever was in the shot was physically present when the picture was taken. So the lingering question is, did they actually capture Bigfoot on film? Kirk, Shane, and Dave reviewed thermal footage that showed a two-legged figure moving through the forest. Unlike typical thermal images of people where items like jackets, hats, and backpacks are clearly visible, this recording displayed none of those details. There was no pack, no hat, and no sign of clothing, just a clean heat outline even when magnified to 200% zoom. Later clips featured hunters on the same camera, and their gear appeared clearly underscoring the contrast. In another segment, a brief heat signature popped out from behind a tree, aligning with the timing of the original sighting. The team even tried to reproduce the footage themselves, but their recreation didn't quite match. In the end, they classified the clip as inconclusive, though the complete lack of visible equipment makes it stand apart from every human the camera had previously captured. While hunting in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio, a man suddenly noticed something unusual. A massive ape-like figure moved quietly among the trees, its fur a mix of gray and black.
See all the hair. It'd be stupid to walk out here in a suit and get shot. He's right behind that tree. And his hair's gray and black. Is that gray? Is that snow? That's not snow. It's gray. Brown, gray.
It looked tall and powerfully built, far too convincing to be someone in a costume, and far too dangerous for anyone to risk wearing one in an active hunting zone. Some residents believe he may have crossed paths with the Ohio grassman, a local legend said to weave grass nests and wander the rural forests. Sightings of similar beings in Ohio date back to as early as 1869. A man flew his drone over a peaceful lake in northern Maine while looking for a new fishing spot. He wasn't chasing myths, just enjoying a relaxing day. That evening, as he went through the footage, something unusual showed up near the tree line. A tall, dark-furred figure walking upright on two legs. After spotting it, he returned and filmed the area again, hoping to capture it once more, but the figure had vanished. He later posted the clip online asking if anyone could identify what he had recorded that day. In 2009, a YouTube video titled "Yellow Top Bigfoot" surfaced, showing a creature with a yellowish tuft of hair on its head moving through the forest near Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. The clip resurfaced years later when it was reposted, gaining renewed attention and drawing comparisons to the iconic Patterson-Gimlin footage. Those comparisons, however, didn't hold up. The figure looked small, moved clumsily, and had arm proportions that resembled a human's more than an ape's. Eventually, the story unraveled. The original uploader admitted the clip had been staged as part of a short film promotion. In the end, it was revealed to be a man in a costume, not evidence of an undiscovered primate. A Reddit user claimed to have recorded an eerie groaning sound deep in the forest. The uploader was almost convinced it was Bigfoot, saying the noise came from the same spot where he believed he had seen the creature once before. Though the audio lasted only a few seconds, it sparked a wave of reactions online, ranging from curiosity to outright skepticism, lighting up the comment section. But the uploader soon disappeared, claiming that undercover officers had shown up at his door. Interesting. In 2018, a video appeared online claiming to capture the legendary Honey Island swamp monster. It was originally filmed by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller exploring deep within the Louisiana bayou. Locals described the creature as standing over 7 feet tall, covered in coarse dark gray hair, and emitting a rotten, decaying odor. Its footprints are especially strange, webbed, like those of an alligator, yet shaped like a human's. Then just as suddenly it slips away into the dense swamp fog, leaving behind nothing but fear and unanswered questions. In this recently resurfaced image, a massive figure stands partially submerged in the water. Commenters estimate its visible height above the surface to be about 6 feet, if the water is even 2 feet deep. That would make the figure roughly 8 to 10 feet tall. There isn't much background information available about the picture, so the chance of a hoax can't be dismissed. Yet it appears remarkably real. While hiking through Provo Canyon in Utah, 2 friends spotted something moving in the distance.
Does he think it's a bear?
At first, it appeared to be a black bear, but when the creature rose upright, it was clear it wasn't a bear. The figure looked humanoid and was covered in dark hair.
Probably should be too close to it, huh? Oh, cool though. Let's go.
Once it noticed the hikers, the situation grew tense. Fearing for their safety, the pair fled. While walking through the forest, a man spotted something unusual in the distance. He heard branches breaking, and then saw a large, dark figure moving among the trees.
See much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes.
According to the filmer, the footage is unaltered and has not been tampered with. The creature captured on camera doesn't resemble any known species, leading some to suggest it might be evidence of Bigfoot. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue it's likely just an elaborate prank. Recently posted a 15-second video titled "This Video I Took at a Lake," recorded during a peaceful hike. The clip opens with tranquil sounds of nature. But a sudden, chilling scream abruptly shatters the calm. It could have been an animal native to the region, yet there's an eerily human tone to the noise. The footage left viewers deeply unsettled, And now we move on to the next chilling encounters. On June 16, 2024, an unusual photograph started spreading on Facebook. It showed a tall, fur-covered figure, but something about it seemed off. Its arms hung far lower than normal, and its body appeared strangely thin and upright, very unlike the Bigfoot described in classic encounters such as Patterson's or those reported in Ohio. Nothing about this figure resembled what's been documented before. Some people began to question whether it was even a Bigfoot at all, or if it might have been something entirely different. While recording a calm afternoon in his university's nature preserve, Christian later spotted something strange while reviewing the footage, a tall, upright figure moving among the trees. The shape appeared to be covered in dark fur, too human-like to be a typical animal, yet too unusual to be an ordinary person. Its movements didn't resemble those of a deer or a bear. The stride was distinctly different. The clip quickly spread across campus, and even a biology professor remarked that if Bigfoot existed, that preserve would be a reasonable place to find one. What Christian captured remains a mystery. Hopefully it wasn't just a staged prank. That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.